Welcome to Grounds for Discussion
and Title Talk,
where we bring together closing, processing, real estate,
and coffee, of course.
Whether you're a buyer, seller, agent, or fellow industry professional, join us as we unpack the processes that make real estate deals happen. Hi, I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Barbie.
And welcome today. Today we have George Brockman, the home protector of warranties.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh,
That's fancy. That's the fanciest title I've ever had.
Tell us about George Brockman and Achosa.
Achosa? Yeah. So a little bit about myself. I've been in home warranty 11 plus years now.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I was actually figuring it up the other day. I've actually been with Achosa longer than I was the other previous company. 3 letters. The company that will not be named.
Will not be named.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was telling somebody about this not so long ago. So my journey into home warranty is the first job in my professional career, even back to my part-time jobs as a high school kid. This is the first job I ever got where I didn't know somebody.
Really?
Yeah, my first foray into home warranty, I applied for something on LinkedIn, got a recruiting call like 3 months later. I'm like, what did I apply for? What are you talking about? And my biggest angst of getting into it was you have to do lunch and learns and presentations to groups of people. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do that. I can't
Oh my
do that.
gosh.
Yeah,
And
that
now
would be nerve-wracking.
you kill it.
Yeah. And now it's
now,
like one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, give me a microphone. I'll stand in front of the group. Yes,
So this
absolutely.
isn't like a little part-time gig for you. This is like you're passionate. You're in it for the long. You have been in it for the long haul. This is what you love.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what I do. I've been asked to go in or to do some more leadership type things with our company, and I'm like, I'll help lead and mentor and coach and whatever that looks like for our company. But I am not leaving my sales
You love
territory.
the
I
people.
love my people and the relationships. Right?
Yes.
I mean, you develop relationships with people in this business
For sure.
where you have friendships outside of the real estate part of it, and that's what I absolutely love.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
awesome.
Well, what did you bring us to drink today?
So my favorite black coffee, Dunkin.
Dunkin' black coffee.
Yeah,
And we requested a donut because it's Dunkin'. Of course, you can't go to Dunkin' and not have
That's
a donut.
right.
So
That's right.
we're gonna try it. Black coffee from
Cheers.
Dunkin'.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I opted
and
the
cheers.
plastic
Okay.
cup because I feel
Cheers.
like an adult.
That's black.
It is. It is.
And now I'm gonna take a bite of donut.
And I don't know if it's still true. Y'all can fact check me on the Googles, but at last time I heard that Dunkin' sells more coffee by the cup than anybody else.
Really?
Then Starbucks? Really?
Yeah, but see, if you go back east, for sure, if you go back east, you can't. I mean, there's a Dunkin' on every street corner.
Really?
Yeah. And so now Starbucks may have overtaken them, but this was just a few years ago.
But I feel
that
like
Dunkin'-
Starbucks or Dunkin' has made a comeback.
They have. It's not as big, like necessarily in the Midwest, but they're in every airport. They're in every city, really.
Yeah.
You know. So
Have you ever had their
And I
little...
have noticed when we're traveling, I do see more Dunkins than I've seen, and they're all new builds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Have you guys ever had Dunkin's little hash browns
Yeah.
and their maple glazed bacon?
Fantastic.
That's what I should have had you get me.
Yeah.
Anywho.
That'd be awesome.
maple glazed bacon.
Yes.
So good. So
Yeah.
good.
It's pretty fantastic.
Well, anyways, the reason we brought you here today
Now
is
that everybody's
not
hungry.
donuts.
Yeah. That's right.
So, for a novice with home warranty, I just, as an escrow officer, I just take in invoices, pay them, and mail them out to you.
We
What?
appreciate that, by the way. Thank you.
I try to do it in a timely
is
manner.
important. Yes. Yeah.
So my question is, so I've sent that home warranty. So the agent has ordered it. It's on my settlement statement. I paid it. I sent you the check to pay for the 1 year home warranty. What happens next? As far as like, I'm the buyer, I have a new house, I have a home warranty. What should I expect?
So anytime that a buyer gets a home warranty, we do send them a welcome packet.
Awesome.
And as long as we have their email address, we will email that when the funds are applied. So it's usually 10 to 14 days after the closing. We get the check, we apply it to the warranty, and they'll get an email with a welcome message, their terms and conditions, a paid invoice, and even a copy of our claims process, so that if they have something that happens, they get that. They also get a confirmation when the warranty's enrolled. So there's 2 points of contact in that real estate transaction cycle, if you will. If we don't have an email address, we'll mail them a packet.
Okay, awesome.
So, but I would say 95% probably of the enrollments have an email address attached to them.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And we asked for that. I mean, because it's important to be able to communicate with them.
Yeah. And so then I have a home warranty and my refrigerator's gone out. And so I'm like, so I reached out to you and say, my refrigerator's gone out. What happens next? Do I find a contractor? Do you find me a contractor?
Well, I'll have you reach out to our call center to file the claim because they don't let me adjudicate claims, right? Listen,
George,
George. Yeah. I tell people this all the time. Like, I would love for them to let me adjudicate the claims, but I'm like Oprah. Everybody would get a paid claim, and that's unfortunately, that's just not how that works.
You get a
claim. You get a claim. You get a claim. You get.
It's a yes. You're a yes guy.
It's a yes. Yeah. So we have a call center that handles all the operation side, all the claim side. And one story to really tell about Achosa that I love. Our company was founded 8 years ago by two guys that had ran another traditional home warranty company for 10 years. And I'll explain traditional home warranty just in the simple fact that the majority of home warranty companies, they want to supply the contractor. That contractor works for them. That contractor is a subcontractor for the home warranty company.
Okay.
And they're, for better or worse explanation, they're beholden to do what the home warranty company wants them to do, right? And so our founders ran a home warranty company for about 10 years and said there's got to be a better way because honestly it becomes onerous in that model. There's delays, there's frustrations, there's miscommunications, all the things that go along with that. And so they said, well, we've got to find a better way to do home warranty. And so they founded Achosa on the model of the homeowner gets to pick the contractor.
Nice.
So the contractor that you want to come out and work on your refrigerator works for you, not the home warranty company.
That's
right?
awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And so when you talk about a claim starting from let's face it, when you're filing a home warranty claim, you're probably not a happy-go-lucky person
You're
at the moment.
already in a situation that you're frustrated or
There's
upset.
There's a negative genesis to a
Right.
home warranty
Yes.
claim. Something has broken.
My refrigerator is
something's
broken.
failed.
My meat
food
is spoiling.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. And so the where I tie this story together is when our founders started Achosa, they knew from their experience they did not want to own or operate the call center. So full transparency, our call center is third party. Yes, it's in a foreign country, but they are bilingual. They do speak good English, right? They do. And so it's a great for the Hispanic community, certainly, because the Spanish is their first language. But they wanted a call center that could handle the capacity of rapid growth. And one of the first people that they reached out to was operates call centers. And when he saw our model, he was familiar with home warranty campaigns, and he was like, I want to be a partner. I don't just want to be
That's cool.
your provider. And so he's one of our biggest investors in the company. And what that really means, what that really translates to in the bottom line, is that the operator of the call center has a stake in the game to make sure that our call centers are staffed, that they're polite, that they're doing the right thing. And so something that is incredibly unique in our space, our hold times are less than 10 seconds.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Year round.
Yeah.
Year round. And we kind of joke about it internally. When we measure that, it's usually like 3.4, 3.5 seconds to answer. But if I stand in front of a group and say, well, it's 3.4 seconds to answer, people think you're being disingenuous, lying, if you will. So we say less than 10 seconds. And so what that means is that when your refrigerator breaks and there's a negative, you're coming from a negative situation or starting in a negative situation, you almost instantly get to talk to somebody. That is the solution to your problem. Right? But then on top of it, you get to hire the contractor that comes out for service. You as the homeowner are in control of the service resolution. A lot more. Right.
That's amazing.
It is, because it really takes the frustration part and you've taken it, what am I trying to say? Like, you're already de-escalating and you're giving them the power back to choose. So ultimately customer centric from the top down, from the first call with you, to all the way through getting to choose.
And the other great thing about our call center operations and how they take care of the customers is when you call in that claim, there you go, no problem. They find your warranty. They say, we'll start a claim. They'll ask you a couple questions. When did the failure happen? When did you notice it? That kind of stuff. But then they go over your coverages and say, okay, well, it's a refrigerator claim. On your plan, this is how much coverage you have. This is what it covers. This is what it does not. Right? So they go over the expectation. This is how the process works. Then they email all the information to you.
Awesome.
So the great thing is we really work hard on the front end to set the expectation for the homeowner.
Right.
Yeah.
So if when the contractor comes out and gives us the diagnosis, they already know what the coverages are, how much they have on their particular plan.
And so touch on that a little bit. Dive into, you have a refrigerator. It is a part now. You'll cover the part, however.
Yeah. So every claim has we can call it a deductible. We call it a trade service fee because we're technically not insurance, but think of it as a deductible. So every claim is going to have a $100 claim or a $100 deductible. And so I think the simplest terms to think of that, how we do things, is that the first $100 is on the homeowner. And then our coverages kick in up to the coverage limits.
Gotcha.
And if we can talk about, I think it's important to understand what a home warranty is. A home warranty is really there to offset the cost of mechanical repairs that occur in a home. So, and when we talk about mechanical systems, we're talking about the heating and air, the water heater, the appliances, roof leaks, plumbing, electrical. Our new plans include well pump, septic, jetted tub, water softener.
That's amazing.
Which is a new standard in our
deal.
industry, honestly.
Yeah, right.
But it's there to offset the cost of those repairs, right? And so the first $100 is on the homeowner, essentially, like a trade fee. And then after that, the coverages kick in. And depending on your plan, our coverage limits will vary based on what plan you're on.
Okay. So there's different levels, kind of like insurance, like car insurance or homeowner's insurance. You have a $500 deductible or a $1,000 deductible, and then we kind of go into the different levels of how much coverage you want.
Yeah, on our plans, it really just, the more you spend on the plan, the more coverage you get. We've really, really tried to simplify it as much as we can in our space so that no matter what plan you're on, you have coverage for all the, we don't want to use an absolute, but for lack of better explanation, all the things are covered on all of our plans, right?
The deductible that you're talking about, let's say I have a refrigerator. It's old. It's a part that goes out, and you're going to cover a certain price for the part, but it's white, and I want a stainless steel one. What does that look like?
So one of the things I love about how we do is we tend to be flexible and again, customer centric, right? So let's say your refrigerator, let's say it's the control board that goes out, and let's say it's $500 to replace the control board, and you're like, look, I want to upgrade, right? I want a fancy.
I don't want to spend $500 or have someone spend $500 on a white refrigerator.
I've been wanting that, black stainless steel refrigerator because they're cool or whatever. Not a problem. So the way we adjudicate that type of claim, let's assume it's a $500 control board, the part is available. You can take that $500 and apply it towards replacing the refrigerator, right? Huge. That's your choice. You are in control of that.
Yeah.
But let's flip that, and let's say that control board is no longer available. They can't get it. So you have to replace it. In a case like that, we move your refrigerator to replacement. And so depending on the coverage of your plan, how much you have available, it goes to the replacement level.
Right.
And essentially what we do is we take the value, the retail value, that's important to understand. We take the retail value of your refrigerator. So we'll take a look at the features, the functions, the brand, right? And so let's say you've got a GE refrigerator with ice and water in the door, and it's a side-by-side, right? So we will go out and find the closest model of today's GE with double doors, same cubic feet, water and ice in the door. And we'll say, look, this is the value of your refrigerator. Now, depending on your plan, you may be able to buy that refrigerator for that cost. But if you're on one of our basic plans where, say, refrigerator coverage is $500, you're just going to go to the $500 right? We have higher plans available. We have add-ons that can really bump that up. So you may get the full cost of your refrigerator, or you're going to get a significant offset. And I think that's important to understand with home warranty.
I do too.
One of the myths or misconceptions of home warranty is that, I've got a home warranty, it's just going to cover everything. And they don't.
Right.
And I think some of that is probably disingenuous behavior by our competitors a little bit. Overselling what a home warranty is.
Or at the very least, not fully explaining what
Correct.
it is at the
Yeah.
very minimum, and then maybe,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. And so just understand, home warranty is there to offset, and that's important to understand.
I think
Home
that's
warranty is there to offset the cost of repairs or replacements. And what that really looks like is most replacements are going to be our trade fee, the $100, and we're going to cover the cost of the repair. When you get into replacements of the larger items like heating and air, maybe a refrigerator, it's probably just going to be an offset.
Okay.
We're going to take a chunk of that cost and absorb that for the homeowner.
Yeah.
And I think if homeowners and certainly real estate agents understand that part of it, again, it's setting the proper expectations.
managing
Yeah.
expectations.
Managing
exactly.
expectations,
Yeah.
right?
But how wonderful it is, rather than spending, you get to spend $100 on that $500 repair.
The first year you
The
buy a
first
house.
year you
right.
buy a house, so
Yeah.
you're only spending $100. If the repairs is $500, you're not having to spend the full $500.
That's right.
Just only $100.
That's right.
And then if something happens later on down in a couple of months, you have that $100, and then you're not having to spend all this extra money because things happen.
Right.
Things happen in threes. I feel like it's like,
that's right.
oh, my refrigerator went out. Oh, there goes my dishwasher. This happens.
That's right.
So
and I'll tell you two interesting stats that our data has proved out for us. The one that I find most amazing is it's like 97 point some percent of our claims are repairs. Okay, so think about that for a second. You get to hire the contractor that comes out for your refrigerator or your heating and air or whatever it is. 97% of the time, it is a repair, not a replacement.
yeah.
Right? And I feel like so much in our space gets caught up in replacement costs.
It's supposed to replace it, and then they denied my replacement.
They deny it.
Yeah.
97% of the time, and it's just our data, raw data, is a repair. And that's your contractor making that call, not us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The other thing is, and you talk about happening in threes, like the average mechanical repairs in a home is probably over 3 repairs a year. You know, it used to be about 2.5 to 3. I think it's over 3 now. But what we see is almost 2/3 of our warranties have a claim in the first 45 days.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Listen, they don't build a refrigerator and
I was
oven and dishwasher
just
like they
thinking
used
that
to.
they don't make them like
Listen,
they used to.
I still have a white side-by-side refrigerator I've had forever.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I've gone through 2 ovens since then.
Yep.
And
That
a
were- you've
dishwasher
replaced
and
them.
this old refrigerator. And I keep on thinking I want a new one. And then I'm like,
She
it
keeps
just lasts
she
me.
keeps
She keeps
living.
going.
She just keeps going.
That's
Yes.
When a home is on the market and listed, Achosa offers.
Free seller's coverage.
That's correct.
It is a
Free
huge,
seller's coverage.
yeah, it's a huge value proposition that I think probably gets underutilized by the realtor community. And the realtors out there that I know and love and hear me, they probably get sick of me hearing me talk about it.
okay.
But it's something that we provide free seller's coverage during the listing period. So from listing to close for the sellers. It covers all the things: heating and air, water heater, appliances, all the things in our plan. It's non-obligatory, which means the seller is not required to provide a warranty at close.
Right.
They are not required to pay back any claims if they don't. Now, what I will say is, it is in the best interest of the seller to provide a warranty.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because it helps offer some protection. It is in the best interest of the listing agent to encourage their seller to provide the warranty at close, right? To help offer some risk mitigation, some protection.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And I certainly think the market we're getting back into, those conversations are more real now.
They're starting to happen
Because
now.
days on market is going up.
Yes.
Things are sitting on the market longer.
Oh, yeah.
And offering a home warranty can provide some value. But it's one of those things that, for us, it's a marketing thing. We want to get our name out there. We want our name to be the go-to name in home warranty. And so we want the listing agents to use warranty to help their clients offset the cost of repairs during that listing period. And let's face it, in this day and age, now that we get inspection reports back all the time, they're finding material defects.
Yeah.
And a home warranty has the potential to help save the seller some money on those material defects
Yeah.
that show up
Yeah.
on the inspection report.
So during an inspection phase, they can access the home warranty.
Yeah. Listen, it's always potential because we don't know, right?
Right,
yeah.
But if it's mechanical defects, if they've got that listing coverage in place,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
And so I always encourage agents, change your processes, change your procedures, when you enroll the listing, when you set up the listing in the MLS, your next step should be enroll the seller's coverage.
And another layer of customer service for your clients is, and I partner with Achosa, and he provides a home warranty during the listing phase.
Yes.
Huge. That is huge.
It's huge.
Huge.
It is.
So, because there's been times that I've been sitting in the closing room and they've done the walkthrough earlier that morning, and something's happened. They walk through and then there's water on the floor from the refrigerator, or something has happened, and it never fails like that. 24 hours, like the buyer or the seller's like, I've never had a problem with it. Why today? Why would that happen today? So
of all days today.
Yeah, and I'll go, and that's a real story that I've had to deal with in my time in home warranty. When I was up with the other 3-letter company, we would hold up closings. And I promise you, there is not a more difficult situation to be in than holding up a closing, because it takes 4 days for the repair to be
You're making a lot of people unhappy.
And it's so
That's right.
And I have them in the closing room and they are mad.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so, but with Achosa, that seller gets to use their own contractor. And so we go back to real estate agents having contractors on speed dial, right? So they do the walkthrough and they find that there's water on the floor because of the water heater. They're calling their plumber and saying, hey, look, we got to close this today or tomorrow. We need this fixed now. That
Done.
plumber's on it, right? And it gets done. And we help pick up the cost. So we save the seller money. We don't delay closing. And everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
Love that.
That's right.
Love it.
Yeah.
So spin off of that for us and talk a little bit about what you mentioned earlier about the investor space. What do you provide for an investor and all their properties?
We do, and this is really a new conversation that I've been having in probably the last 6 months or so. We have a product that is designed for that investor space, right? And when we go back and talk about the delays and the onerous nature of traditional home warranty, you know, it's one thing is you, the homeowner that doesn't have a refrigerator for a few days, it stinks, right? But you take a tenant that doesn't have a refrigerator or hot water for a week to 10 days. Now the tenant is screaming about, I want a rent reduction, I want to be put up at a hotel.
It's a lot more
all
problems.
these things, right? It becomes very, very problematic in that investor space. But with us, again, the property manager, the investor, they're still dispatching the same contractor that they would dispatch normally, and then we're picking up some of the cost. And I think if you really want to bottom line that for the investors, this is the easiest way to think about this. And this becomes a dollar and cents business decision. From year to year, your mechanical repair expense on your properties is going to vary widely. Because you might have to replace an air conditioning this year, and maybe the next year you don't, but then you have to replace 3 appliances. And so those expenses are going to vary widely. When an investor is using home warranty, that repair expense becomes almost predictable. It almost becomes a flat line because we're picking up the majority of the cost. Right?
And all they have is whatever they pay for the warranty.
That's right. And then you start talking about, okay, now on those peak years, all that extra expense for mechanical repairs becomes profit. So from a dollar and cents standpoint, it makes sense. And the truth is, again, when I was with the other company, I didn't want to talk about investor space. I didn't want realtors to have it on their own home. But now with the Achosa, I almost beg realtors, put it on your own home. I want you to experience it firsthand. And now that's really stepped into that investor market, the property managers, the buy and hold guys, short-term, long-term rental, fix and flippers. And so we're really exploring that space and having more conversations because it really, really makes sense and fits. And like I said, we have the product that is made for that investor space. So
George Brockman with Achosa, making home warranty sexy.
That's right.
So cool.
I'm bringing sexy.
I mean, we really could. I mean, you think about that, like home warranty, but with all of the information that you are giving us, like the questions could go on and on. So how would someone reach you if they needed to go a little deeper on the conversations?
So I love having the conversations.
Yes, you do.
When I end training classes and presentations, one thing I always say, and this really fits here, like, I love drinking coffee. If I'm not drinking coffee, I'm probably thinking about drinking coffee. So if you are a realtor or an investor or anything like that, and you want to have a conversation about home warranty, let's get coffee. right?
Awesome.
Let's go have coffee. Let's talk about it. My number and email and stuff is all over the interwebs. So reach out to me. Let's go grab coffee and talk about home warranty, and then talk about anything else.
Pickleball.
Pickleball.
Apparently pickleball's next.
I love having conversations.
George has discovered pickleball.
Yes.
And he's a little
I'm
hooked.
Well,
I'm hooked.
we
Yes.
are so pleased that you joined us today. We're very appreciative. We know you're busy, very busy.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Because you are
I'm the only domicile home warranty rep in Southwest Missouri. Yeah. So, I mean,
and he's a phone call away.
That's right.
Really.
I like to say there's no other home warranty companies that are come to this market, but I am literally the only one that's based here.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, George.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. See you next time.